Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Marvelous Unboxing, and in today's episode, we're going to be going over the Winter Soldier from the newest Marvel Legends line, and of course, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Now, this video was kindly requested by one of my viewers, so I will go ahead and say, if you would like to go ahead and see one of the other characters missing throughout the line, except Loki, he will be the last one. We have 3 more characters. Whoever you would like to see next, just feel free to comment down below. Whoever gets the most asked for is the character we will be doing next. Now, before we move on to the character, I want to make just one quick announcement, and that is, if you could, Hulk smash that like button before US Agent gets to you. It really helps out the channel tremendously, and I couldn't appreciate it more than I already do. But that's enough of that. Let's go ahead and move on with the character. Alright, taking a quick window look of the Winter Soldier, we can of course already see that this character does not actually feature too many accessories. It only has one piece of the Falcon's wing and 2 other hands, with one being the robotic and one being humanoid. I think overall, taking a very quick look at his face, that it looks a little bit off, but we're gonna go ahead and see that once we actually unravel him out of the box. Again, here we have a better portrayal of Bucky Barnes, and as you can see, I gotta be completely honest that the face does not really resemble him. I could be wrong, and I might just have a different portrayal of Bucky Barnes, or might be used to the long hair one. I do like the short hair on him. I think he looks a lot better like that, and I know he had to go through that because he didn't want to be identified as the Winter Soldier, but nonetheless, I think the portrayal of him is just not the best. Now, if we go down to the bottom of the line, we can see that Bucky Barnes, or the Winter Soldier, is number 4 in the line, and of course that goes on to the Falcon's, or Captain America's, right side wing. So we finally have a piece that looks like it could connect, but I do believe you do need part 3 to actually get anything started, which of course is going to be Loki, and we're not unfortunately going to go over that character until the very end.
Oh wow, look, I'm Sebastian Stan, and my right arm or left arm or my robot arm has bigger bicep than yours. Ha 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 ha.
Alright, this is first appearance critique, and I gotta be completely honest that the face is a little bit more closer to Bucky Barnes than I actually assumed it to be, based on the window look through it. It does not look very well, if I'm being completely honest. It still does not look very well. I actually think that the Funko Pop definitely helps portray him better as Sebastian Stan than anything else, really. Or James Barnes. I don't know why I keep on calling him Sebastian Barnes or whatever, but his name's James Barnes. Just for clarification, we're just gonna call him Bucky for the sake of the video, or Winter Soldier, whatever. Alright, so here's a closer look at the actual accessories, if you could even call them that, which, I mean, they are, but we only have 2 other hands, and I'm not really sure why they didn't mix up. Although he is portrayed like this in the actual concept art, he does have an open hand, and his robotic arm is actually closed like a fist. So we actually have a closed human fist right here, which I thought was really neat. We can again give him some cool punching poses, which I would have really liked if they were done with Captain America, but unfortunately they did not, which I'm pretty disappointed about. But overall, I think it looks really good. One thing I have not seen with these hands is that they don't let really the art smudge into the other colors. You can see right here, this zooms in, that although there was a little bit of smudges here and there, I think they do a really good job at concealing. If we look at the thumb, it looks pretty bad if we're really nitpicking at it, but nonetheless, from a far view perspective, it's very hard to tell. They did a really good job with this. Again, the articulation is roughly about the same, just usual up and down movements. We have a little swirl right there if this even moves, but apart from that, I think it looks quite great. And then taking a closer look at the actual robotic hand, it's in an open or give me that pose. One thing that I've really seen with the robotic arm, especially in the Funko Pops, is that they've done a really good job at designing the actual lines that go throughout it. Really, it's incredible how much details they put in this. And of course, you can see that there's a little bit of smudges. It's not 100% symmetrical or even throughout it, but nonetheless, from a far view perspective, if you're not really trying to destroy this hand and, you know, trying to make it 100%, the details are really good, especially the color. It's like a goldish tintage, which is of course like it is in the actual movie, but nonetheless it looks great, and I think they did a really cool hand pose with this. really great. Now we're going to compare this to the arm once we actually move on to the actual character. And then of course we have build a figure piece, which I can actually tell how it's going to be connected now. I still think that this piece is going to be the piece that's going to be connected to the actual character, and this piece right here is what's going to be connected to what we actually got with US Agent. Unfortunately, this is the opposite piece. We can't actually connect this yet, which I would definitely like to try to see how it would look, or at least get a feeling of how big it would be, because once I build half of the wing, I can definitely tell about how wide the wings will be. But this is how it's going to be, this is how it's going to connect, which now I can understand. So I feel like once we get Loki, that piece will certainly have a piece that we can attach this to, and then we can finally get some of the bath going on. Again, the colors are great, not too much to complain about, look great. But nonetheless, let's go ahead and move on with the actual figure. So I'm not exactly sure how much outfits James Barnes actually wears throughout the entire series, but I do know that this is from the first episodes we get to see. I think it's from the very first one or second one, not really exactly sure, but he definitely wears this very early on throughout the series. So this is basically the costume that we're going to be looking at and comparing it to. But again, we're going to go over the basic articulation. Again, the neck, let's see if this, yep. Seems like forward it goes roughly about the same. Again, we have the same swivel. I'm guessing that this is going to be a ball joint as well. We can pop this off. Yep, there we go. Alright, we're going to take a quick facial inspection, and one thing that I did see was the fact that there's some type of other color in his hair. It looks like traces of brown in a way. It's kind of hard to tell, but if you can catch on to them, like that piece of hair right there, and just overall, there's some places you can definitely pick it up on, but not really sure what that's all about. I never really took a closer look at him in the TV series, or really anywhere throughout, or he does have short hair throughout the series, but I didn't really see any of that. Not really sure if that's how his hair color is supposed to be, but I think we can find it through the concept art and see if there's any type of comparison to that, but we'll do that later on. I think definitely taking a much closer look at him in the longer, I guess I can definitely start to see the resemblance to Bucky Barnes in a way, although it's a little bit comical in a way. I like the hair. Again, that's something that just seems to really pick up my attention on, because after all, it's hair. They could really go nitpicky about that. I think they really did a good job with portraying a kind of a stubby facial hair rather than doing it anything else. I definitely like that. That's pretty cool. But I guess if you're doing it Marvel Legends wise, I think the comparison to Bucky Barnes is it's pretty good. It could be a lot worse. It could be a little bit better, but I think overall it's not horrible, really. I think they did a decent job at this. And again, moving on to his bionic arm, like I previously stated, that the details on this is great. If you're looking at this from here, I think overall it looks phenomenal. They even decided to do like a little finishing, shiny finish to it, and it really gives it a much better effect than it does anywhere else throughout his rest of his costume. Here, I'll let you see that. You can spin it around, see everything throughout his bionic arm, and I think it looks incredible. Of course, this is the closed hand right here that we also have, and then we also have the open one. Of course, we have articulation there, we have articulation at the elbow, we also have some sort of weird articulation here, not really sure what that's about, because I certainly do not have that in my arm. And of course we have the basic shoulder movement. Now, of course we have the swivels and the lines going all throughout his arm right there, and on the underside as well. I think the bionic arm looks awesome. Look at me flex. I'm so strong because I have a metal arm. And then taking a closer look at the actual real arm, again, it looks great. They even decided to do a little bit of wrinkles here throughout the actual arm to give it some type of actual real feeling to it, rather than just leaving static and without feelings to it. It looks realistic, to say the least. Again, we have the same articulation here. We have the basic shoulder one, and then we have this articulation there, and then we have the basic elbow one, and of course the basic hand one. Now of course this is the open hand one here, and the other accessory is going to be the closed fist one if you want to give him some type of cool fighting pose like I did with US Agents. Now if we go down to the rest of the actual outfit, again we have some sort of seatbelt here, which I guess is part of the actual costume. I'm not really sure. It reminds me of a seatbelt really, but I think overall they even decided to do some type of a tarp looking to it and give him some actual tone and depth to the actual costume. And then we take a closer look at the articulation here. Again, we have the basic one. Doesn't seem like this character actually goes back all the way. See right here, it lacks to bend back all the way. Not really sure what that's about. As far as going forward, looks like he's slouching right there, like it's his Sunday day off. But they even decided to do the zipper going up all the way, which they could have easily just decided not to do. It looks like he has an odd pot belly going on right there. But I think nonetheless, it's really well. They decided to give him a little belt going on right there. And of course, moving on throughout the back. Again, it looks like he's wearing a tarp on the back. But it looks like they actually decided to give him some depth and not decide to just leave him static. It looks really good. And then move on throughout the rest of the legs. Again, we have the basic waist movement that goes all the way around. And as far as his legs, looks like they can again form the 90-degree angle, or at least that's what I think it looks like. And then I actually found out that you can actually twist this part of the legs not too long ago, so I wish my legs could definitely do that. I think that's pretty cool. And then as far as the knees go, again, we have the basic 90-degree. And then his legs can also do this right here. It can spin around. I thought that was pretty neat. And then as far as his feet goes, again, he can bend it all the way down, a little bit up. But it looks like he can mostly go all the way down. But like he looks like he's about to go tap dancing. Yippity yeah, blah blah blah. But it definitely looks like they decided to give him some depth to the pants as well. Again, we have wrinkles, we have lines to actually depict that he's wearing pants and not some type of color. I mean, just look at that. They even decided to do the heavy wrinkles up here where the pants go into the actual boots. So I thought that looks pretty neat. Again, we have the little lines where the articulation goes, but I think it mitigates it with the actual lines and the wrinkles that go throughout the pants. And it looks like his boots are big on detail as well. Those are boots. Are they boots? It looks like it. But let's go ahead and switch out the actual arms. Alright, so there's a little switch out right there. We just simply switched out the hands because that's all he has. He has an open hand now, and he has his closed fist right here. So that's really all about you can do with the Winter Soldier. Nothing too crazy. I think the rest of the characters will help add on to this character, especially Zemo. Well, I think that's the only character that can add on to the Winter Soldier. But I think nonetheless, if we're really critiquing this character, I gotta say that I do enjoy his character simply because of his arm. Like I said, I've enjoyed his arm very, very much. I wish I had a bionic arm. I wish I still had my real arm, of course, but I wish I had like a sleeve or something. I think I've always liked his bionic arm. I gotta be honest, I personally like it a lot more than I did when he had the silver arm with the little star. Of course, that's his most iconic one, but I just think that having the lines and everything throughout it just is very, very cool. Will I keep him with the open hand? Nah, looks like he's doesn't look very cool. I think if we give him the closing fist, it's definitely a lot better. He's telling you to give him a like for the video and for harassing him on his face, so please do it or he'll go Winter Soldier on you. See, he's like, please give me the like, and then he punches you. Well, I'm very glad that I was finally able to go over this character, and most fortunately, I'm glad that I was finally able to get all the Marvel Legends. I actually had to get them through somebody, so if any of you Hasbro people are watching this, or even anybody at retail, definitely like to partner up with me so I can get early access to them. I'll definitely give you guys credit for that. You guys only heard that here and here. But overall, if we're critiquing the character, I think it looks great. Like I said, I think one of the things that brings out the most attention from me personally is the arm. I'm not really sure why. I just think, obviously, I know a lot of people think that his arm is really, really cool. But I think that just brings out the most of him to me, really. And I think his story arc overall was really, really good in the actual TV series. I think they really did a good job of bringing him going from Bucky Barnes to the Winter Soldier back into trying to establish himself as Bucky Barnes. I really wish they would have added more accessories rather than just two simple hands. But again, the question would be, what other accessories could they have given him? It's really complicated to actually try and analyze that, because they gave him things that I wish they would have given to Captain America, such as giving him other hands. But nonetheless, what else could you really have given to Bucky Barnes as an accessories? And I mean, other than letting me know what figure you want to see next, I think that's a great question. What other accessories would you have liked to see with the Winter Soldier? But nonetheless, that's enough of the critique. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Make sure you Hulk smash that like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, comment and share, and of course, I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace out.